Hi guys, I'm Dakota. Welcome to the Hallowed Cauldron. Glad you could make it. Today I'm going to talk about a subject that I talked about. I made a video about 9 or 10 months ago on it, which was cutting cords, and I did a little spell work that went along with that to show how one way that you can cut cords energetically with a person. So today I want to talk about that same subject, only this time it's not about a person. Well, it involves a person, but it involves what a person gave you. So in this, let's just say that it could be they gifted you somebody gifted you something, and at one time, whoever this person was, you had a really, really great close relationship with. Okay, so maybe it was a romantic relationship, maybe it was a coworker, could have been a neighbor, could have been somebody in your group, just a friend, whatever. But at the time that you were gifted an item, a thing, you had a really, really great relationship with that person. Okay. And they thought enough about you to gift you something that they thought or they knew that you really liked or that you really wanted. And then maybe a year down the road, or maybe 10 years down the road, all of a sudden, boom, there was a huge breakup in the relationship. So if it was a romantic relationship, maybe somebody cheated, maybe somebody lied, um, maybe a coworker's talking bad about you behind your back, maybe just the dynamics of the group dynamics wasn't you know what I mean, like you weren't included, and because whatever, there was egos going on and power tripping and all of that, um, and perhaps it was a neighbor, and now all of a sudden your tree was dropping leaves on their side of their backyard, and they were having to pick up leaves. I don't know, but let's just say something happened, and this one-time relationship that was so close, and that person, and it was probably mutual, but in this case we're just talking about you, the person that received a gift, an item from this loved one, this person that you really cared so much about, and then there was an argument, some kind of war, explosion, trauma, drama, whatever, and boom, the relationship just blew up. So in the cutting cords video, I did talk about that, where cutting cords with a particular person, that energetic cord needs to be cut, needs to be severed in order to move on, to move forward. If you don't want anything to do with that person, you have to cut cords with them and then just move on. One of the things that happens with that when you cut cords with somebody, and that's why I think I stressed, I hope I did, if not, I'm stressing it now. One of the things when you do cut cords with somebody is you do have to remember that when you cut cords with somebody, that means I no longer want anything to do with you, so I'm cutting these cords. I don't want your energy, I don't want your negativity, whatever it is, I don't want that. So you cut ties with them. That also means, okay, what that also means is then you unfriend them on Facebook, you don't follow them on YouTube, you don't follow them on Instagram, you remove their phone number from your phone, you block them, and because that is it. You no longer, boom, you're cutting cords. You can't cut cords and have strings attached. I mean, it doesn't work that way. That being said, though, there are times when you may sever cords, you may cut those cords, but down the road, maybe there's a coming together. Maybe there is an apology. Maybe there is I don't know what I was thinking, or whatever. And so now there's a coming together, and there's an apology and a forgiveness. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I think that's a really great thing. What I'm saying is, a lot of times, and before I go there, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not even a certified spiritual counselor. I'm just talking from my own experience, okay? So I'm just talking. A lot of times when, let's just say in a romantic relationship, that one of the the party cheated, they lied to you, whatever, and you cut cords, you did the whole thing, but then down the road they come back, blah blah blah, and you get back together. So the problem is, you're still in the back of your head, you still kind of have that, you still kind of have that, ugh. And a lot of times the relationship can't withstand that. You're still carrying the baggage from what happened in the past with that person, and you carry it forward, and you're still trying to have a relationship, but that old baggage is still there. It's really hard to get over things like that, and then get back together with the person that you cut ties with, and not have some kind of reservation in the back of your mind. So at least that's kind of how it works for me. And so yeah, so when you cut ties with somebody, it's really important that means all ties. That means no communication. You're not stalking their Facebook page. You're not doing the whole thing. It's completely cutting cords. Now, what I'm talking about today, though, is kind of the same, but it's a little bit different. And that is, let's say that you have and I know that, and this has happened not to me personally. Before the gods, I have never done this. Okay, I swear before the gods, I personally have never done this, because I think it's kind of silly. I mean, and I don't mean that disrespectfully at all. It's just coming from me. All right. But I have had people come to me and say, so and so, who we were so close, love and adore, the whole thing. And I'm just going to use this this little thing as an example, because I don't have anything to show you really. So and so, this is a little pin, a little witch broom pin. I have several of these. I have had friends give me some. I have had my group members give me some. I've bought some. I mean, I like to use them for my candles, to inscribe in my candles, because it works really, really good. Anyway, let's just say that person that you just really, really, you've been friends, coworkers, lovers, whatever, for years, and they made this for you. Let's say they made it for you because they knew that you would just love this so much, and they gave it to you when you were still in the relationship, and you loved it. It's the cutest thing ever. I just love it. I'm going to treasure it. Oh, thank you so much. Da da da. Okay. Then later on, that breakup happens. Something happens. Again, I'm not just talking romantic. I'm talking whatever. And there's a parting of the ways. Excuse me. And during that parting of the ways, you are really having a difficult time, and you just really want to end it. So you do a cord cutting spell, and you cut cords with them. You still have the stuff. So I've had people ask me, they've sold their stuff that people have given them, because I don't want anything to do with them, but I want the money for it. Or it might be you saying, I don't want this, I don't want this. And so you do whatever. I'm going to talk about a couple things we can do. So you get rid of that. Oh, But that Ouija board right there, oh, I wanted that really, really bad. And it was so expensive, pretend. And it was so expensive. It was at an art show and it was so expensive. And so and so bought it for me as a surprise. Well, now you cut cords with them and you don't want this, but you're not going to get rid of that, are you? I mean, we cannot pick and choose like that. So if you want to get rid of all the things, like if you don't want this because, I mean, you know, it's in my way or, you know, whatever, it's not really my thing anymore, kind of whatever, then that's one thing. But the easy thing to do is then take it and throw it in the trash. Boom, done. That's the easy way. But are you going to take, you know, a $1,500 hand-painted Ouija board? That one isn't, by the way. Got it at Michael's at Halloween. But let's just say, you know, $1,500 painted Ouija board, hand-painted, signed by the artist. I wanted it so bad. And this, the other one, surprised me with it. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. Well, now are you going to take that and you're going to burn it? You're going to chop it up into little pieces and throw it away because cutting cords with everything else, that doesn't mean anything, but not that. So then that's not really doing a complete cord cutting, in my opinion. So then I asked myself, well, then why do that with your, you know, with your tangible things then? Because if that were an art piece, I can tell you right now, I would keep it. I can tell you right now that I have cut cords with people who have gifted me things that I loved. I'm not loved. I love them. Some are so unique. You know, these people are talented, crafty, very crafty, talented people, artists, and really, truly, they're artists. And I've had things gifted to me that I love it. I'm not burning that. I'm not chopping it up. I'm not taking a sledgehammer to that. Um, you know, I might cut ties. I might go ahead and cut cords with it and with the item itself. And even though I cut cords with the person's energy, if they made this, if that truly was an art piece that somebody hand painted and signed, well, then their energy is in that. And even though I cut cords with that person, for me personally, I feel like I want to cut the cords with any of their residual energy that might be hanging around that item. But I'm not taking that item out to the burn pit and burning it just because, boom, we had a breakup. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. I love that piece personally, not because that person gave it to me, but because I actually love the item itself personally. It speaks to me personally. Has nothing to do with them. So now one of the things that we do in the shop, if you're buying stones or anything that you buy from the shop, people want to know, do I put this in water? How do I, let's go to stones. You know, how do I cleanse this? How do I get rid of the energies? And they're talking about the energies, I'm assuming, and most are, about the energies of the people that touched the item before. And so then we'll talk about different ways of cleansing your item. So cleansing your item, you can sage it. So you can sage that. I remove the energies that no longer serve my highest good. And what that is that's sort of like the cord cutting, in that the energies that don't serve my highest good were the energies that was involved in this. So I can sage it just like we smudge our houses and stuff. I could anoint it. I could consecrate it to something. If it was something on that I put on my altar, maybe I consecrate it to my altar, and at the same time I'm removing the energies. I do make, I've only made it a couple of times. I've only made it for myself personally, but it is a cord cutting oil as well as a cord cutting incense that I burn when I'm doing a cord cutting spell work, especially spell work. And like I said, not that I know of anyway, okay, so I don't want to be a liar, but I can sit here and tell you that before the gods, I honestly don't think that I ever took an item that someone gifted me, whether they handmade it or they bought it. They gifted it to me at a time when we were a tight relationship, and then we, boom, had this mishap. And I cannot tell you a time that I've ever went, ah, this belonged, they gave me this. I'm cutting cords with that, or I'm taking it down to the local, consignment store and selling it to get money, which is unethical in my opinion. um, Whatever. And so, okay, you can, if I had this, let's say, and let's say I wanted to get rid of the energies that aren't serving the highest good, those energies that still are part of that person. Maybe I'm going to lay this on a paper towel and I'm going to sprinkle it with salt, or I'm going to put my salt circle, I'm going to do a salt circle, Widdershins, counterclockwise behind, around it. Maybe I am going to do a candle spell. This is just right now. This is just coming to me right this second because I don't have anything here prepared. And you know that I do a lot of fire magic. So maybe I do a candle and I dress it and I do my sigils and I do all the things ready to cut any kind of energetic cords that remain on this item that the person gave me that I no longer want. And I light the candle and I drip the wax on it. Maybe something like that. If it's environmentally friendly, you could burn it. You can't burn this because it's got ink and metal. And so, I wouldn't suggest burning it. You could take the ink cartridge out of it. I think it just probably pulls out right here. This little plastic tip probably pulls right out. You could burn the wood if you wanted to do that. If you felt compelled to do that, then do that. It is wood, and I think these are just pine needles. Sure. Bury it if you wanted to do that. I would not put this in any kind of water area, like a creek or the ocean or a river, anything like that. I just wouldn't, even though it's wood. That's just me. I just wouldn't, because floating down the river just kind of looks like trash, right? But and you could spritz it if you want. If you make a special spritz for that, you could do that. I mean, the easiest thing is, whoop, throw it in the trash. If you don't want it, throw it in the trash. You want to break ties with that person? Nothing easier than throw it in the trash. But do you think I'm going to do that with my hand-painted Ouija board signed by the artist and numbered? No, I'm not going to. That person gifted it to me. At the time, I was in love with it, and it means something to me personally, not necessarily with that person. Does it remind me of that person? I don't sit there and boo-hoo over it every time I see it. I've moved on from that because I cut cords with that energy in that person, if that makes sense. Right? So, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so when customers ask us about that, cleansing, and they don't want the energy of somebody else's energy on their stuff, I get that. There are some stones, yes, you can put some stones in water. You can, I don't recommend it. It's not anything that I do, but there are stones you can lay in salt bowls. I do not do that. I think that salt is too harsh on a stone. It eats away at it eventually, I think. So, I mean, you might could you know, sprinkle some salt on it and it's going to be okay. Just like selenite. Look, yeah, you can't put selenite in water for hours on end. But you can certainly run it under tap water and it's not going to just disintegrate. I know this because I do it. All right, so there you go. So that's it. You know, I just think it's a little silly to get all into this drama about, oh, you know, oh, this person made this little dream catcher for me. And we're no longer, oh, I can't stand that person. Oh, they're a liar. They're a cheater. They gossip. They do this. They're that. They're ego tripping. They're blah, 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 blah. I cut cords with them, but you still have the dream catcher. Yeah, because I didn't want to throw that away because I really like that. So pick and choose your battles. You know what I mean? So for me personally, I swear to you, I cannot think of anything that I have intentionally. I may have gotten rid of some things, but it wasn't because, this person gave this to me. I'm throwing that. I'm getting rid of that. It wasn't because of that. And I certainly didn't take it down to the local, you know, consignment store and sell it for money. I mean, and then what happens, and then this happens. I'm going to end here quickly, shortly, not quickly, shortly. What happens then, because this happens more times than not, maybe it takes a year, maybe it takes 10 years, who knows, but eventually, boom, comes back together. I'm really sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. This was going on with me. Yada yada da da da, and we make up, right? And I start, you know, oh, I like what you did with the house. Hey, what'd you ever do with that Ouija board that came from that artist? Oh, I burned it when I cut cords with you. Boom. It's gonna start all over. So it really has nothing to do with the person, in my opinion. If it's something that just annoys you to look at it, then you haven't done your cutting of the cords. You may need to do the cutting of the cords again with that person. You have to let go of that person. And then I can look at that Ouija board all day and go, you know. So I'm just saying that you got to pick and choose. You got to pick and choose your battles. And, you know, you can't just let this go because it was, you know, $5 at the store. And, you know, they just bought it for you because it was cute. But you loved it. You loved it. And you use it to write in your candles. And so you're just going to do a whole thing and get rid of it. But not that and not that, because those are pretty. So that bugs me, and it bugs me even more when you sell the item and you know, you want money for the item. I don't like that. You know, if you want to regift it, I mean, I think if I was going to regift something, even I might say that. Because I have regifted things. Look, you cannot, you'd have to have a whole storage building of everything that's ever been gifted to you if you just kept everything. And so, you know, if I did want to regift this and there was no, and me and the person that gave, we were still like this, or, you know, whatever, it's a big deal. That's not a thing. But if, you know, if it were something that I said, I would want to be honest. I would want to be honest. I would probably say something like, do you have any use for this? It was given to me by so-and-so, and as you know, we don't have a relationship, and I just, you know, but if you can use it, hey, great. You know, that's fine. And if not, whoop, throw it in the trash, then it's done. Yeah, so anyway, that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about. So cutting cords with your tangible items, and you know, how do you feel about that? Leave a comment. Let me know how you would deal with that. And yeah, I just, you know, I have some jewelry that it was expensive jewelry, and cords were cut many moons ago, many moons ago. I didn't throw that jewelry away, and I didn't give it back because it was given to me as a gift, and some I still wear. I love it. I think it's beautiful, and I think that whole thing about, you know, it's just feels so drama to me, you know. I get the cutting of the cords with someone who's done you wrong, but once you've done that, then it should be done, right? It should be done. Anyway, if you feel like it hasn't been done and you know, you think that there's some kind of energy, even though you cut cords, but they made this and you just want to get your spritz it, get your sage it, and get rid of the energies that are not serving your highest good, which should already have happened when you did the cutting of the cords with the person in the first place. So that's what I have to say about that. All right, guys. That's it for today. Hope you guys have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, mind healthy as well. A lot going on in the world, and we just need to stay empowered and take care of ourselves, right? So, all right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Give me a, why am I even, whatever. I hate that. I do that every time. Like, subscribe if you want, and I don't care, whatever. I don't mean whatever. I mean, it would be nice. Like, subscribe if you want. I don't. Anyway, goodbye.